Hey, welcome to the Art of Relationship show, people. Hopefully, everybody's doing okay. And I say people, right? Peace and love to everybody out there. Hopefully, everybody is doing well and is ready for the 4th of July here in America. Okay, so hopefully, everybody's doing okay. And I was debating whether or not, excuse me, to do the show tonight. Do I need a break? Do I need a breather? Yes, but I missed a couple weeks ago. So, as you're kicking off, join in the Art of Relationship show. I'm going to be talking about a very, very debatable, heated topic about what are you teaching your kids about marriage, about your relationship. And a lot of people will look at, and I'm going to get into this a little bit. Hey, Taylor, what's going on? Cyclone, Ashley. As people join in tonight, share the live feed on your page, your video. I'd appreciate it. I'd be very thankful. I want to try to help as many people out there as possible with, topics. What's going on with your love life, your dating life, those type of situations. And we're definitely going to get into step family dynamics as well with this. No matter what the topic is, as I tell people, it's a live Q&A. So you can throw your questions down below, up above, sideways, wherever you're at. Any questions you have related to dating, marriage, sex, yes, relationships, anything I can help you with. And this does not replace actual psychotherapy, professional counseling that I do with couples in my office, okay? Because of HIPAA guidelines, confidentiality, can't be guaranteed doing this. But I'm going to try to help you out as much as possible, okay? And yes, for people that do not know, I'm a fully licensed professional counselor in the state of Michigan here in Detroit area. And I've been doing this for, it'll be 22 years actually next month now. Okay. So that's where I want people to be able to look at. I specialize in relationships, marriage, sex, and I have a lot of insights in, you know, regarding trauma and what else? Grief. There we go. I had a brain fart for a minute, okay? So, how do you feel about the whole no Diddy thing? And this is a situation where, if he did what he did, he needs to serve time for it, man. I'm not about abuse. I'm not about sex trafficking. Hell no. Pedophilia, anything like that. No, not at all. So if it is found that that was going on, he needs to get busted for it, okay? No matter who it is. So, talking about this can, segue right into tonight's topic about what are you teaching your kids about relationships, about marriage, right? And this is looking at, are you fighting all the time? Are you arguing, going back and forth with your significant other, with your partner, your wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, that type of thing, whatever you're living together. And of course, step family dynamics as well, right? We want to teach our kids, what is healthy, right? Nothing's perfect. What's healthy? What's loving? What does that even look like? And a lot of people in, maybe toxic, maybe uncomfortable situations that will look at you know what? Oh, don't ever have a marriage like this, right? Don't ever look at the situation where you shouldn't do this. Don't be involved with somebody like this. And you're ripping your partner apart, ripping their dad apart, their mom apart, those situations. And I tell people it's not what you teach your kids, it's what you show them, right? So you can argue. It's going to happen, right? We're realistic. I'm realistic. And you're going to argue. You're going to disagree. But after that, kids can also look at, hey, you know what? Mom and dad, whatever, can they heal? They still love each other. That it's okay to have a disagreement or a debate once in a while, maybe argue once in a while, and you can still love each other, and that can be healed and fixed, that you can reconnect. It's a great lesson to teach your kids. And I tell people, right, if they get in a fight with their best friend at school, and all of a sudden, we're not friends anymore, we're not going to be friends for life, right? That type of situation, you can teach them that they can heal that. They can maybe be able to fix that situation. So it's a great lesson to have. And I have people left and right. Make sure you share this on your timeline, people. I want to help as many people out there, singles and definitely couples in relationships, living together or married, doesn't matter, that you have maybe intimacy challenges as well. Anything I can do to help you out, throw your questions out there and I'll do the best I can to answer them. Okay. Hey, Kelly, what's going on? I appreciate everybody tuning in. So throw your questions out there tonight and let's make it live right before the 4th of July. And I hope everybody does that. Make sure you like, follow me, YouTube, wherever, at Love Guru Greg. Rachel, I appreciate you tuning in as well. And my website is in the profile above, and that is theartofrelationships.org. So, yes, I'm actually a bona fide licensed professional, a lot of school, grad school, all that stuff. So, getting back to the topic about kids and what are you teaching your kids? And a lot of people will look at those type of aspects to be able to look at what is happening, what is going on. I'm gonna go play with my Rose toy. Oh my god. I can almost imagine. So excuse me. Oh, everybody's allergies kicking up still, right? So looking at what do you want to teach your kids about relationships, about marriage, right? Not only, young kids, age appropriate, right? As you get older, and I'm all about teaching them, and adults too, right? Even couples, about self love and self respect, right? Are you teaching your kids not by what you tell them, but what you show them? Are you allowing your partner, maybe their dad, their mom, to constantly disrespect you, belittle you, abuse you, degrade you? Do you understand? But you still stay in that situation. Do you teach your kids that relationships and marriage are about only like business transactional type situation, right? That you teach your kids that there's no affection, that, love doesn't matter, that being there for one another doesn't matter, right? So I look at these situations and being able to look at what are you teaching your kids by you, how you show them. So I ask people left and right? Even couples in my relationship, okay? So I look at those situations to understand, what? I want to show our kids, and even if it's a step family dynamic, right? What a healthy relationship or marriage is, whatever you decide on that, okay? So I want people to be able to look at and understand what are things you want to teach your kids about, what does respect look like? What does having each other's backs looks like? What about communication? Everybody talks about the importance of communication, right? But is it how you communicate, right? If there's a disagreement, are you yelling? Are you screaming at each other? Are you belittling one another, calling each other names? Are you degrading each other? Are you ripping each other apart? And that doesn't teach your kid about a healthy, happy relationship, right? And you can admit your flaws, you can admit your faults. How many people admit their flaws and faults to their kids, right? I'm not supposed to admit it. I'm their kid. I'm supposed to live up to this expectation. But it's a great tool and a great lesson to teach your kids. You know what? I shouldn't have yelled at your mom. I shouldn't have yelled at your dad. Or, stepmom, stepdad, those situations. It's about owning them. You know what? I did get upset. I handled it wrong. To teach humility, to teach owning and taking accountability for your actions, especially, in a relationship. It teaches about, that you care about your partner's feelings. It teaches them that, what, I'm human, I made a mistake, but that's where I want people to be able to understand that, what, it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. And a lot of people, and even in the business world, right? Let's face it, huge corporations. How many people have ever heard of a corporation owning what they do, that they make a mistake, right? They throw this BS, sugar coated aspect out there, and they never take accountability, right? Um, and how many people out there as well in relationships, in a marriage currently, are you teaching your kids that never admit you're wrong, never admit that you're sorry because you did nothing wrong? So why be sorry, right? Or are you teaching your kids to flip the script on that other person, that you shouldn't feel that way? What you feel is dumb, what you feel is wrong. Is that what you're teaching your kids? Because it's not healthy. And I tell people it could be borderline neglectful, right? Are you teaching your kid to be arrogant? Are you teaching your kid to take no accountability? Are you also teaching your kid that it is right? They're never wrong, right? It's always everybody else's fault. That is not a healthy situation to be able to teach your kid, right? We have enough people that don't take accountability, that don't admit they're wrong, that maybe lie, they deceive. Look at our politicians in this country, right? So we look at those avenues, what is needed, and how do you want your kid to be? And some people, some parents, right? My kid's perfect. I'm going to make sure don't ever admit you're wrong. Or like the situation that, when I was in, many, many years ago, school, it was if I got in trouble, I got in trouble at home. Now, if your kid gets in trouble, does something wrong, disrespectful to the teacher, it's the teacher's fault. Parents need to stop and start teaching their kids responsibility, take ownership, and discipline. And it starts with yourself in the own relationship, in your own marriage, right? Or, step family, living situation, whatever you're going through and how you live your life, right? Do you teach your kid also, though, on the other hand of that, the other side of that spectrum, um, you also don't teach your kids to be a doormat, to be a people pleaser. Some people in very, we'll say an abusive or borderline abusive relationships or marriage, they teach your kid to always be okay with taking abuse, being disrespected, being degraded, right? Being ignored, not being a priority, not being loved. Those situations, right? Not feeling appreciated. So there's a lot of times where how you live your life, how you live in your relationship, or how you live in your marriage can make a huge difference in what you teach your kids. I'm huge on this, okay? Not that everything's perfect, but I throw a different twist and a different element to be able to come up there. Heiser Mom, hey, what's going on Instagram? I appreciate you joining in too. So, please share the live feed on your page, on your timeline, wherever you're viewing it. And I want you to be able to, I want to get as many people involved as possible. And again, throw your questions in the comment and I'll do my best I can to answer them. So a lot of people will look at, what, it's no, my kid will learn not to make the same mistakes that I make. Really? Are you, how are you doing that? Right? Is what you're telling them and how you live and how you act, how you behave is contradictory. Because there's a lot of people who look at, and I hear this, I've heard this from other people, clients over the years, that no matter what, I'm going to have an intact family. I'm not going to divorce. I'm not going to break up our family. And this goes for people that might live together, have kids, or get married, have kids, right? I'm not going to get divorced. I'm not going to break up. We're going to have an intact family. And my question is, an intact family doesn't necessarily mean by any means that it's healthy, that it's happy. You could have an intact family, right? Oh, I'm staying together for the kids. But what if that relationship or marriage is toxic? What if it's abusive? What if it's unloving? There's situations, right, where couples, they don't argue at all. The kids never seen their parents disagree. They've never seen them argue. They've never seen them debate. They've never seen their parents talk. You get me? They've never seen their parents hug. They've never seen their parents embrace. They've never seen them be affectionate with one another. You get me? They've never seen their kids or never seen their parents give each other a kiss. They've never seen their parents sort of show compassion for one another. But we have an intact family. I've never seen my parents argue, not at all. But they've seen so much distance, and the kids start learning, oh, that's what a relationship is. That is what a marriage is. And I look at, even with kids, when I used to also work with kids and teens many, many years ago, is to be able to look at, what would you like different? You might not like how dad treats mom, mom treats dad, that type of situation, and we can't, control that. Unfortunately, trying to teach and trying to build, what would you like differently in, a relationship down the road, especially with teenagers, right? Never promote, someone being abused, taken advantage of, that they don't have a voice in a relationship. So these are things and these are elements where I want you to be challenged, to be able to look at, you know what? I want to be different. I want to sort of show my kids what somewhat of a healthy, happy relationship is. Can we be playful? Can we be joking around? Can we show each other that we have compassion for what each other feels? Right? Again, not perfect. It's looking at what is going on with your kids and are you backing up with what you want them to follow? Are you showing that example? Easy? Not at all. Again, we're not talking about, I never talk about perfect. You can even, clients, couples in my office. Nothing's perfect. But what do you do to feel more connected? And if there are problems, what do you do to try to reach for each other? And how do you handle that situation? Okay. So that's what really matters. And you can teach your children, you can teach your kids, your teens, that, hey, you know what? I could have done something better. You know what? I shouldn't have yelled. I could have stepped back and, I could have slowed my exhale a little bit. I could have, taken a breather. Owning what you could do differently. These are good ways, healthy ways to teach your kid to, take accountability. Again, that doesn't mean that you do everything wrong, right? Like a lot of people that have low self-esteem that might be people pleasers, right? Everything's their fault and it isn't. So that's also not a healthy lesson to teach your kid, that, you know what, it's okay to put up with this abuse. It's okay to be name called on a daily basis. It's okay to be cheated on a, regular basis. Not at all. And so a lot of situations, it's hard. It's real life, right? And it's not easy. It's not fun situations. But you also look at, going with this scenario, I ask couples all the time, would you want your kids to have the same type of relationship or marriage that you have now, right? Nothing is perfect. So that's where I want people to be able to look at, would you want your kids to have the same type of relationship, to have the same type of marriage that you have now? Would you be okay with that? And a lot of parents, oh, hell no, Greg. Hell no, G. Hey, Sarah, what's going on? So a lot of people will look at that. Then what can we do to change that? Right? What can we do to work on the relationship or work on the marriage to be able to get to the situation where, hey, you know what? It's not perfect, but I'd be okay if my kids had a relationship like we have, right? Those type of situations. And those are the questions. Hey, it's your birthday. Hey, Sarah, happy birthday. Woohoo! Happy birthday. So, but my husband loves our cats more than me. And you know what? I hear this all the time, and that's sad, right? And I get this. I hear this from actually, it's not that crazy. I get that. And a lot of people look at, hey, when I come home from work or when I come in the door, the kids run, they're always, I can tell they miss me. The cat, as you're talking about, the cat, the dog, they're all excited to see me. I can't remember, the last time you were ready and excited to see me. I can't remember the last time that you were glad to see me when I come home. And this is part of true and false I give. You know what? Is your partner happy to see you when you return? Do they miss you? Are they happy to see you maybe after 8, 10, 12, 14-hour day? Or maybe you had to go out of town for work, right? Maybe you had to go to a relative's funeral, that type of situation, and someone had to stay back and watch the kids. I get that. When was the last time that you actually would be excited to see your partner? And that is a lesson to teach your kids as well, okay? That's sad though. I'd be dying. He would be looking for the cat rather than call 911. That's his type. Then my question to you is, what is making you stay in that relationship or in that marriage, right? Husband, so I'm going to say marriage. My question is not that you shouldn't, not at all. And sometimes people need to hear, I don't want it a threat, okay? I'm going to break up. I want a divorce. To wake their butt up, okay? To wake up the marriage or relationship, to look at almost like that it hits rock bottom before any changing. And that hurts, man. That just aches my heart to hear he'd be rather look for the cat than call 911 if you're dying. So that's where I want to know what is going on and what is, happening. What causes you to be in that relationship or that marriage, right? And also, if you have kids, I get it. It's not easy. You're looking at finances, right? Kids, where would you go? I can't afford. Those are real life situations, so it's not easy. My question is, number one, have you talked to your husband about it? Hey, it kills me. It destroys me that I feel like you don't love me at all. And I'd love your husband to say, oh, what can I do to show you I do love you? Do you want to spend more time together? Do you want him to be more affectionate? Do you want him to give you compliments, affirmations, those things? So I ask, have you brought those up to your husband? That would be a starting point and maybe a reminder. But you also, if you're telling him 10, 20, 30 times and nothing's changing, then my question is, what is keeping you in that marriage, right? Not that it's not my decision to make, nor other professionals. No, it's your decision to make. But I ask people, what's causing you to stay? And what scares you to go and maybe find a love that's more fulfilling for you and more healthy, whatever that means to you, okay? I'm struggling knowing if my partner is the one. Does that automatically mean he's not? No, not at all. That's a great question, actually. A great question. So I look at, my question is, I think a lot of people have insecurities, they question, right? It's rare that some people will automatically know this is my person. that's my person for the rest of my life. Okay. I think it's very normal and very common for people to be in a sit. You know what? Is this really my person? Right. My question is, number one, do you have an idea if your partner, what are you looking for in a partner, right? Again, nothing's perfect, but what are you looking for in a partner as far as personality, right? Let's face it, right? Most people want to be attracted to their partner and want to feel attractive to their partner as well. I know I do, right? To feel desired, that they love you, they maybe find you attractive, they desire you, and everybody's different as far as what does desire mean. So that's where I would question, first, what are your expectations of the one for you? Personality, temperament. And a lot of people, it's ironic when two people, oh, I want someone just like me, and then they clash because they're too much alike, right? They're both stubborn, they're both headstrong, that type of situation. Or some people are like, what do you want to do? I don't know. I don't know what you want. And both of them are people pleasers, right? And they are both passive in that. They're afraid to hurt the other one's feelings, piss the other one off. So I would look at, what are your expectations of a healthy, happy relationship, and what are your expectations of a healthy, happy partner? What does that look like to you? Do you want someone that is wants to share financially 50-50? What does sex look like for you? Do you want someone that is highly sexual, that has low sex drive, that could care less about sex, or someone that is very exploratory with sexuality? Do you want someone that would be a good parent or no kids? Those type of situations, you get me? So that's where I look at, those type of qualities. What do you look for in a partner? And I'm going to be honest, okay? If you are looking for your partner to change and to be able to look at the situation to where, oh, they have potential, I'm hoping they change this way. Ooh, first you have to talk to that person. Do they want the same expectations as you, or close? And are they willing to learn, evolve, to grow after it? Okay. So those are situations to where I would be able to look at to say, if that person really is the one. So oh no, you appreciate it. So I don't know. No, I appreciate and I hope that helps a lot. Even with couples, I even ask, what are your expectations of a happy, healthy relationship? Um, and going back to, with kids, what would you teach your kids what a happy, healthy relationship is? Not perfect. So, yeah, anything I can do, throw out your questions, people, out there. Any questions I can answer to help your relationship out, to help your, if you're single, looking for that one, dating life, your relationship, right? And I agree, and that's great. They learn by example, and it's not just what you tell them. It's like I said, what you show them, that I mentioned throughout, this episode. And it isn't. It's difficult. Life, we have bad days, right? But can we own that in those situations? Okay. Now another one is looking at, okay, he came from a very unhealthy relationship, so we are learning a lot together and undoing a lot. You know what? That's awesome. Number one is, being able to look in the mirror, right? Uh, about accountability, right? Some people, I had a horrific upbringing, therefore it gives me the right to be an asshole. No, it doesn't. I've been, some people have been very abused in a situation. And like I mentioned, in every episode, I've always specialized with couples, sex, marriage, relationships, that type of thing. And I've also worked, specialized working with severe trauma with kids and teens. I haven't worked with kids or teens in, no boy, 13 years now at least. So that's where I look at, what do we do to try to heal those traumas, that we don't excuse them for treating people poorly. I was raised this way, so that excuses my behavior. Or even people, I have bipolar, so that's why I knocked your tooth out. What? No, that doesn't excuse people. And I did an episode on this probably a month ago, a little longer, about, you know what, that doesn't excuse our behavior. We can understand it, but it doesn't give us a right to treat others like crap because of how we were treated. Okay, so let me go back to, okay, I was a sheltered child. My husband was very social, so he's helping me. Oh my God, I love that. But I would look at too, with that situation, and a lot of people might be very social extroverted and the other one's introverted. That's okay. You can complement one another. But I want to look at, number one, do you want to grow? Do you want to evolve? Or there's a difference between, are you trying to be someone you're not to fit your husband? Or is there a middle ground where you're comfortable in your own skin? You like the person you are and want to become. And it's not just for, trying to please your husband all the time, but is he also doing that too? And I love that, right? That he's helping you and being compassionate and understanding. But I look at how someone wants to be and then what I can do to help them get there, right? It's not up to me or anybody else to say you need to be this way. I want to know how you want to be. And then we can get you there or get the couple relationship there. But if people, they want two different things. One wants a child, the other one doesn't. It's not going to work, okay? And you love each other, good people, and you're hoping that the other one changes their mind. And then when they don't change their mind, you're upset, you're pissed. But they were honest you both were honest, right? But maybe deep down you're hoping they change their mind, and they don't. So those are things talking about expectations, right? In a partner earlier, and what does that look like? Okay. Okay, it's hard, but acknowledging faults and putting effort into changing them is huge, right? It is huge, right? And there's people that won't admit their faults, some people that won't admit their flaws because of ego, pride, or some people won't because of insecurities, right? So that is huge. Acknowledging what our flaws and faults are, I think that's number one. It takes confidence and also humbleness to admit our flaws, admit our faults, but also to work on changing and evolving them. That's great insight. Terrific insight, actually. And that's what we do. It's the same thing. The best, maybe, what do I want to say? I had a brain fart. The best thing to admit remorse, to own remorse, show genuine remorse and guilt, is change behavior, right? Absolutely. So I love that. That's awesome. So keep that going, keep that flowing. Again, check out my website. It's in the profile above or below, wherever you're watching or viewing, theartofrelationships.org. You can check it out. Please follow me all over at LoveGuruGreg. And probably the best way, I have all my show episodes, oh boy, probably over 500 of them now. On the easiest way I tell people is probably YouTube at LoveGuruGreg. Follow me, Facebook if you're on there, all over the place. But the easiest way to probably see all the videos, the episodes of the show are on YouTube at LoveGuruGreg. So I appreciate it. Follow me there. Follow me everywhere, right? And I want to help people as much as possible. That's what I do. And to refresh, I'm actually a fully licensed professional counselor here in Michigan, licensed in Michigan, in specializing in relationships, marriage, sex, and I also have a lot of experience working with grief and trauma as well. So check me out, follow me. Any questions you have, hit me up, DM me. I'm always looking for show topic ideas as well. Okay, so I am going to cut this short this evening. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm human too, right? So everybody have a great 4th of July. Please be safe out there, and let's keep promoting peace and love and kindness to other people. But also, let's face it, some people also need to start promoting their own self-love and self-respect. And there's a difference between that and being selfish and it's all about you. No, it's not. It's that mutuality, right? It's that ebb and flow, especially in a relationship. Oh, I can't wait to be married because I'll get whatever I want. What? No, it doesn't work that way. I want you to feel loved and respected and appreciated, desired, and feel like a priority. Absolutely. But I'm assuming, and I'm probably right, that your partner wants to feel those things too, okay? It's showing and evolving together and what those that look like. And that's a great lesson to not only teach your kids and teens, let's face it, it's a great maybe lesson to teach other couples and other people around you in your social circle as well. So follow me. I appreciate it at Love Guru Greg. Peace and love to everybody out there. Take care and much love, okay? Bye bye, people. Bye bye.